First time I read Portrait of the Artist as a young man, I was in high school and had very little interest in literature. My main focus in school was science, and most of what I read was research papers that addressed issues like climate change and nuclear energy. At the time, I guess I thought that the only people who were really changing the world were scientists because they were addressing issues that could possibly destroy the planet. And part of me thought that anyone else who thought that they could change the world was kidding themselves. Especially writers, because how could you change the world by just sitting in front of a computer screen all day writing and making up stories? So the same day the portrait was assigned, I started reading it on my way home from school on the bus, and I couldn't put it down. I had never read anything that made me feel like I could actually see other people's perspective. Not only see it, but actually feel it too. I felt like I was Stephen on that ride home from school. I could share in his joy and feel his pain. And that's when I realized that scientific research can't change people's perspective the way good literature can, and the only way that people change the way they live their lives is by sharing in other people's perspectives. And to try to demonstrate my point, here's a passage from Portrait. His throat ached with a desire to cry aloud, the cry of a hawk or eagle on high, to cry piercingly of his deliverance to the winds. This was the call of life to his soul, not the dull, gross voice of the world of duties and despair, not the inhuman voice that had called him to the pale service of the altar. An instant of wild flight had delivered him, and the cry of triumph which his lips withheld cleft his brain.